I made an impossible game with no game dev experience, and here's how I did it. So step one is actually learning how to make games. And so I followed these tutorials and I made the example game shown in the video. After completing them, I made a bad Flappy Bird clone that I called Bird. It even had its own shop and a dragon boss fight. At this point, I felt ready to take on the main project. I wanted to make a Fadian game, which is basically just an impossible platformer like Only Up, Pogo Stuck, and Getting Over It. And so the idea behind the game was that you control the rocket that had to make it to the moon. And so I threw placeholder shapes into Godot, and at the start, it looks pretty awful. But I polished up the code and spent a while making sure the rocket and the art looked good. I decided to call the game Blast Off, and even made this little cover art for the game. I threw the rocket model back into Godot, and it started to look pretty good. I made fire particles that come from the bottom of the rocket, and drew out the entire map in Photoshop so I could model everything after an Illustrator, and I began slowly but surely modeling out the rest of the game. I added the fuel bar on the rocket so you know how much fuel you have left. I added a sine wave to the title at the start of the game, as well as instructions on how to play. Working with the camera in the game was challenging, and I didn't want the camera to just follow you. So I made an off-screen collider that would shift the camera to the next section of the game when you entered it, and it worked like a charm. I wanted to make getting to the second level of the game a bit challenging, so I can make the second level focus on teaching you that the pink glowy things are bouncy. And because there are people out there that actually believe the moon landing was faked, I threw in these dummies with signs that are trying to stop the moon landing. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but I thought it was funny. I added things like camera shake, a timer at the top so you can see how fast you can complete the game, and a menu so you can play. And you can see your best time. And I found a music track on OpenGameArt.com called Blast Off. I thought it was a crazy coincidence that there was a free-to-use soundtrack that had the exact same name as my game, so I put it in the game. So thank you to Syncopika for the music. I threw in more sound effects to enhance the game, and I did build out the rest of the levels, but I don't want to spoil the whole game for you. You have to play it for yourself, so I posted the game on itch.io. The game is a little janky, and the bounce physics are crap, but it's still loads of fun. Now this YouTube game dev thing I really want to work out, and this being my first video would help me more than you could know if you subscribed if you liked the video. If you have any game ideas you'd like me to try, drop a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.